Nominate today at thoroughbredawards.co.uk and recognise those who deserve it most.
And the nominations for the 2026 Thoroughbred Industry Employee Awards, sponsored by Godolphin, are open from today. And with that in mind, we welcome Godolphin's Managing Director for the UK and Dubai, Hugh Anderson, to the show. Hi, Hugh. How are you?
Hi, Rashid. I'm afraid you're breaking up a bit, but I'll do my best.
Well, we shall hold it together, hopefully. You're a man of extreme accessibility for being able to deliver brilliant information, whether it's in Dubai or here, often about Godolphin horses. But today we want to talk to you about the Employee Awards. Last year, I was lucky enough to be there, saw Simone Maloney winning the Employee of the Year award. Tell me, how important is this for Godolphin to be associated with, and how important are the awards for the industry, in your own opinion?
Thanks, Rishi. From Godolphin's perspective, we are actually incredibly proud to sponsor these awards. They were originally started over 22 years ago, or 22 years ago exactly, and it was a wish from our principal, His Highness, that we played a part in recognising the people who work in the industry. And you know, I have a picture behind me of Will Buick winning the Derby on Massar. And, you know, he's the sharp end of the spear, but there are so many people that are involved in getting a jockey to win a race. And it covers all aspects of our sport and all aspects of our industry. As I look out of the window today in the pouring rain, I know that around here in Newmarket and on the stud farms, there are men and women out there doing everything they can to look after the horses, to get the horses bred, raised, and to the racetrack. And I think it's absolutely vital for our sport that we recognise them. There's a lot of pressure on racing at the moment in lots of ways. Let's remember it's about horses and about people. And I'd love to think that these awards are one of the high points of the year. Earlier this year, Rishi, you hosted it brilliantly at York, and it's such an uplifting occasion. It does mean a huge amount to us, but it needs a lot of work from trainers, stud farm managers, owners, friends, anybody who wants to, should be, we would like to think, putting up the really excellent people that work in our industry for these awards, because without the application, they won't get in.
It is a hugely uplifting night, as you say. Lucky enough to be there last year, to be part of it, and so many wonderful stories throughout the evening. You've just touched on it, Hugh. It is vital, though, that those people, because a lot of the people who get nominated, they don't want the recognition. Most of them are almost reluctant to be in the spotlight. So is the message for today, as the nominations have opened, for those people with the opportunity to put people forward, to get busy doing just that?
Absolutely. And look, I know it takes a fair amount of effort, although it's nothing like the effort that the judges have to put in going through the applications. But the judges are so skilled at this that nobody should feel that you know, you have to be the poet laureate to put forward some wonderful flowery application. The hard work is done by the judges and the BHA in working out who deserves to be there on the final night. It's always difficult, of course, to split, you know, such great candidates, and almost all of them are quite superb. But I've had so many trainers have told me that, and of course nominees themselves, that just finding their names being considered is great recognition and a huge sort of morale boost, you know, rightly so.
There's a QR code on the screen right now, so if anyone is already willing to nominate someone, then that QR code will take you to the link to be able to allow you to do that right now. You mentioned the judging panel there, Hugh. You obviously have one or two prima donnas to deal with, that Nick Luck in particular. But you talk about the amount of work they put in. It is a series, the process of getting to the finalist. It's quite an extensive one and requires a great deal of expertise from all that judging panel.
Absolutely. The judging panel is a really wide group of people, most of whose names will be recognised by your viewers today, and they take it really seriously. And Nick Luck, I have to say, we know he's a man with lots of spare time, but it's quite astonishing how much he puts into it in marshalling all the people together. And I think they always come up with outstanding finalists. I'd still say your chance of winning best newcomer is 50-1, but keep going.
I'll keep. I think I'm outside of the newcomer award. I think is there a senior award now? I'm way past newcomer award. And venues changing this year, Hugh. York last year, coming down south this year or next year?
Yes, exactly. It's going back to Ascot, which hosted us in 23. York and Ascot are both fabulous venues, as you well know, and I think personally it's great that we're now plugged into race courses around the country rather than just being in a nice hotel in London. Let's get close to where the action is.
There's always the option of bringing it back to where it was once held here in Ealing in the studios. Don't rule that out in the future, Hugh. No. Thank you very much for joining us. It's always great to catch up with you. And I think the most important message from this conversation is get nominating. That's it. Absolutely. Thanks very much, Rashid. All the best. Don't forget that QR code is still on screen at the moment. Where is it? Down there. Yes, there it is. The QR code just down there. So if you want to use that, scan that QR code, that will take you to the link and you'll be able to nominate people for the Thoroughbred Industry Employee Awards 2026, which will be held at Ascot Racecourse, £128,000, 6 awards. And it is, as I said, a very uplifting night for the sport. Now we're heading back to Hamilton and to Nile.